A major bill has passed, and this is going to change the US forever. And in fact, this has provided immediate results that is going to give the American people exactly what they needed, and that's continued support. Now, things are actually starting to change though, and Congress is not happy about it. Now, I'm going to get to exactly what's happening and what just went on, because you do not want to miss any of this stuff, so make sure you go ahead and watch this entire video. But first, all I ask is if you can do me a favor, go ahead, hit the like button if you enjoy these daily, up-to-date videos on what's going on within the U.S. economy and within Congress. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Now, what bill passed and how is this going to impact the American people? Well, the bill that recently passed was the Fiscal Responsibility Act. This was the bill that said in 2024 spending could not exceed 1% in government spending. We couldn't see more than a 1% increase to government spending. And in return, Republicans would actually vote to suspend the debt ceiling until January 1st, 2025. Now, everybody thought this was good. The bill's going to pass. We won't have to worry about the debt ceiling for at least 18 months. Right? Social Security recipients would continue to get their benefits. We'd see SNAP benefits would continue. Affordable housing, right? The government would stay funded, all this stuff, right? Everything was good. We didn't have anything to worry about. Well, this is where people were worried. They were saying that Republicans didn't get what they wanted, Democrats didn't get what they wanted. Well, this is where things really start to take off. Because last week, if you remember, I talked about this just a little bit, in the House of Representatives, Republicans blocked business in the House in order to show their displeasure with Kevin McCarthy, who was Speaker Kevin McCarthy, and the deal that he made with President Biden. Well, this blockade got Speaker Kevin McCarthy's attention, and now House Republicans are demanding more cuts. They want to see more cuts to government spending as a result of Speaker Kevin McCarthy not cutting spending enough in that previous bill. That's what they're asking for. So what does this mean? Well, here's why Democrats are furious about what has just come out today. According to reports today, Republicans are demanding more cuts than what they have already passed in the Fiscal Responsibility Act. And you're probably thinking, well, can they do this? Is this even something that is possible? And the answer is actually pretty simple. The answer is yes. And this is why I always say the devil is in the details and the language of a bill matters. Because here's what we know. In the Fiscal Responsibility Act, Republicans added that the government spending cannot exceed 1% in additional spending based on the 2023 numbers. Now, Democrats agreed to it. They said, that's fine, 1% increase, okay. That's not exactly what they wanted, not even close, but they could live with it. At least it wasn't a cut. Well, the bill was finally passed. It was passed by the House of Representatives, went over to the Senate. The Senate passed the exact same bill, went to President Biden's desk, and took out his pen and he signed it. The bill was passed. Here's the problem. The problem is that Republicans, and again, I say this is a problem because Democrats want one thing. They want to increase spending to the maximum amount of that 1% increase. That's what Democrats want. Republicans, on the other hand, want something completely different, which is actually the problem. They're too far apart. Republicans have plans of cutting government spending and not following through with the 1% increase cap. But again, this is where the devil's in the details. And the language matters. Can Republicans do this? Can they cut spending when they've already agreed to a 1% increase cap? The answer is actually very simple. Yes, they can do this. They can do this because there was nothing in the bill that said that they had to go to the maximum 1% increase. So guess what? They're not going to. Based on recent reports out just today, Republicans are planning to cut tens of billions of dollars from the Departments of Labor, Departments of Education, Department of Health and Human Services, as well as many others as well. Now, in this past week, conservatives in the House of Representatives have held up business because they weren't happy. Speaker McCarthy, he was able to get them to drop their protest and let the House run as needed. But he had to promise them something. And this is where Speaker Kevin McCarthy now had to listen to what these people had to say. He had to agree to let them get their side of the story, put a plan in place, and their plan is to provide more cuts to government spending. Now, something else that is troubling, especially House Democrats, is that they are not just planning on some cuts. According to multiple reports, House Republicans want to see spending go even lower than 2022 levels. So no, we are not just going from a potential 1% increase to government spending in 2024 on top of what we currently have in 2023. No. Are they talking about going and sticking with 2023 levels? No. Are they talking about going back to 2022 levels? No. Republicans are actually looking into going lower. Means less money than what we spent in 2022. And based on recent reports, the proposal could actually cut more than $4 trillion off the government deficit over the next 10 years. That is what's being discussed. This is why Congress, especially Democrats, are furious over what is going on. How did nobody see this? Well, nobody saw this because they waited until the last second and they tried to throw together a bill. And now Republicans figured out a way, a little loophole, that, oh, you guys didn't say that we had to go to the 1% cap, so we're not going to. So here's what experts are already anticipating. There's a couple of things that could happen. Number one, we could actually see a continuing resolution. Okay, that's one thing that could happen. They say if we do not see a continuing resolution, the most likely option is not to go forward with the Republicans' plans, but to see a government shutdown. So based off of statements from House Democrats just today, they say that this request moves them into a path more towards a government shutdown than a continuing resolution. And keep in mind, a continuing resolution would simply allow the government to continue funding different departments using the 2023 numbers. But as we all know, Democrats are not happy with the funding that we have for 2023. They want this to increase. The only problem is Republicans are sitting here saying, no, that's not going to happen because we now hold more control, which is exactly what is going on. So here's what I can tell you. Right now, expect more bills to come out. Expect Congress to start to propose different things for increased spending for certain programs, but decreasing it for others. One thing we've seen from Democrats over the past couple of years, every time they say, no, we are not going to increase the deficit, don't worry, everything's fine, they don't technically increase the deficit, they increase spending, but at the same time, they also try to increase revenue. The way they do it is through additional taxation. So we will see what happens moving forward, but as of right now, this Fiscal Responsibility Act that was passed just a month ago or a few weeks ago, this bill is now pretty much the blueprint of how much we can spend. But Republicans are saying, no, that's the maximum. We are going to spend less, and we're going to try to get a lot less spending than what many people have proposed in the past. So that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. All you got to do is two things. First off, hit the like button on this video and also click the subscribe button so you never miss an update. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.